The following podcast is a deep, shallow dive production.
And you're going to love it.
Okay, let's go.
What is cracking, people? Wednesday, March 6th. All right, today is going to be a serious conversation because, holy crap. Sorry for saying crap. All right, so did anyone experience the cyber outage yesterday? It happened around 7:45 a.m. Pacific time, which would be about 10:45 in the morning, East Coast time. But basically, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, really all of Meta's products, although not WhatsApp. WhatsApp seemed to be fine. But basically, all of Meta's products went down for, I think it was a couple hours. And here's the weird part. So when they finally came back up, when I logged into Instagram, the deep shallow dive page in Instagram, all of a sudden I noticed a different look for the professional dashboard. So with Instagram, you can have three kinds of accounts. You can have your personal account, you can have what's called a creator account, and then you can have a business account. I probably should add a creator account because I think those are more geared toward content creators, and podcasts would fall under that. But it was set up as a business account. Not that I think that matters, but with a business account, there's something called a professional dashboard. So all of a sudden, I kind of noticed a different look to that professional dashboard. And again, remember, ironically, I was on Instagram around 7:30 this morning. Everything was fine. And then when this cyber outage occurred, when I logged back in, that entire section was completely different, right? So then when I logged into the professional dashboard, all of a sudden I noticed something, again, totally different. And they call it out with a big blue new button, a big new button. It says check account status. And so now all of a sudden there were flags and it says your account can't be shown to non-followers. Your account and content won't appear in places like Explore, Search, Suggested Users, Reels, and Feed Recommendations. So basically, during that outage, when we came, it's almost like coming back into the game from timeout, all of a sudden, my Deep Shallow Dive Instagram page, which is up to around 45,000 followers, is now completely throttled. And my posts will still get shown to my followers, but ironically, when it comes to Instagram, the growth is when your posts go into the Reels, into the search, into the algorithm's feed, and then that's how you get new followers, which I was pretty much averaging around 1,000 new followers a day. And now, for whatever reason, they have deemed the DSD, I don't know. It's very disappointing. Now, there was a little area you could appeal, and so I did do an appeal, and we'll see what happens. I also have a friend that works at Instagram, so I reached out to him kind of to see if he can do any digging, which I don't really think will amount to anything. But the fact is, I think yesterday was the beginning of something. We've talked about it before, and let me connect some dots for you. Let me connect some dots, and I don't know, tell me if I'm crazy. But remember the World Economic Forum back in, I think it was a couple months ago when they met in Davos, and I did an entire episode on the World Economic Forum. I've come back to it a couple times. Their biggest threat for the next 2 years, they said, according to Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum, he said, the biggest threat is information and misinformation. Kind of sounded like Schwarzenegger, although that was not a bad Klaus Schwab. So basically, information and misinformation, right? That was what they deemed as the biggest threat. And yesterday was Super Tuesday. You had, people wrapped up in the election. I think if there was ever a day that people's attention might be less on social media, it could have been yesterday with the election, with the Super Tuesday, which, by the way, Trump and Biden dominated. I'm not even going to waste time talking about that. But I do think that this plan started yesterday, and I think that social media is going to be throttled a little bit as we get closer to November. And obviously that affects everything. That affects everything you post. For me, honestly, I pretty much fact check everything I post, and it's not like I'm not putting out any misinformation. I just might be putting out information that, who knows, somebody might not want to be put out. And so, that could be in regards to the Israel-Palestine stuff. Any thoughts on the election? I don't know, but I found it very ironic that there was that outage yesterday, and then when I came back from the outage, my account was affected, and then a lot of accounts much, much bigger than mine were also saying the exact same thing, that they got the exact same type of notice, and it looks like now their engagement is basically, been cut by 95%. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, the proof will be in the pudding. Over the past 30 days on the Deep Shallow Dive page, according to this professional dashboard, we've reached 5.8 million accounts. We've engaged with 574,000 accounts. And again, as of this recording, I have 45,101 followers. And like I said, I was pretty much averaging around 1,200 followers a day, new followers a day. So I guess we'll have to see if this goes down to like minimal and see what the engagement is, see what the new followers is. But there's something up. There's something up with that yesterday. I definitely do not think that was just random and a coincidence. I think under cover of the quote unquote outage, that was an opportunity to, who knows, organize or flag certain accounts. And I seriously think that's what happened. I really do. So we'll see how this plays out. Luckily, there's a lot bigger and louder mouths than mine, if that's possible. It is possible. There's definitely bigger mouths than mine. Are they any louder? I don't know. They probably are. But yeah, there's a lot of loud mouths out there. So thank God for them. We'll see how much noise gets made, because I will say it'll take about a week for people to really see if their engagement has been cut by 90%. And hopefully that doesn't happen. But if it does, I hope there's some attention brought to that. Anyway, somebody wrote a comment on one of my posts. It's like, oh, think of it as a badge of honor. I was like, I guess that's one way to think about it, but I'd rather it not happen because I do enjoy growth. All right, let's talk about some other stuff. Gosh, another big, I guess, interview. I didn't see it, but it was on the front of Fox News, where Hillary Clinton, again, saying people need to get over Biden's age. He's old. We know that. Get over it. I don't know. I think it is just interesting that she's talking about it so much. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's nothing there. All right. The other piece of news yesterday on that side of the aisle was that, I guess, Michelle Obama came out publicly. Again, I didn't see it, but there's graphics of it everywhere, basically denying any potential of running for the presidency. All right, here it is. I guess her office came out and said, it says, Michelle Obama's office has shared a statement following rumors suggesting that she might run for office in this year's election. despite her beloved blah, 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 blah. Okay, here we go. Quote, as former First Lady Michelle Obama expressed several times over the years, she will not be running for president. So, okay, I mean, the fact that her office came out and publicly said that, I think that does kind of take her off the table. I never really thought they were going to try to do that with her for president. I did think potentially for vice president. Not going to lie about that, but I thought Gavin Newsom, if there is to be a substitute, it's going to be Gavin. But now with this, oh man, I don't know. There is weird stuff brewing, man. There just is. That cyber attack felt off yesterday to me. It really did. It felt off. I'll tell you another thing that's weird, and maybe try this out for yourself. But like when I go into Google and I search who was affected with today's cyber attack, when you go into the news portion of it, that should really bring up everything that's most current. And this is funny. I got to remember to say something after this. But what's crazy is, when I was doing this yesterday, you would think that 100 things would come up in real time that were like posted 5 minutes ago, posted 1 hour ago, posted 6 seconds ago. But instead, the biggest story seems to be a healthcare cyber outage posted 1 week ago, posted 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. Finally, as you scroll down, it had the meta hit with possible Super Tuesday cyber attack, Instagram, Threads, Facebook all go down. Man, I find it so hard to believe that they don't have so many redundancies built into this to prevent things ever going down. It's just weird. But the fact that like the Google search also was so antiquated with giving me results from 2-3 weeks ago when this literally was happening real time. And then, I know outlets were covering it because I was going to the specific outlets and seeing it there. The other thing that was weird that happened yesterday in concert with these attacks was the crypto market completely plunged. I mean, I'm talking like most cryptos went down 15-20%. Now, someone, my buddy was like, they just ran too hot too fast. And so this was a natural sell-off, which, again, could be right. But again, I just found the timing of it so off that right when this was happening, all of a sudden, Bitcoin went from a all-time high of 69 back down to like 62 or 61 or something like that. Again, I don't know, just felt weird. All right, so the other thing, really quick to circle back on in terms of the Super Tuesday stuff, let's see what Nikki Haley does now. This will actually be really interesting because at the time of this recording, she literally, I don't think she had won an additional primary outside of the District of Columbia, whereas we talked the other day, 38 voters voted for Ron DeSantis. So I'm not even going to say it. I was going to make my joke again, but you guys are probably not going to think it's funny, so I'm not going to make it. Anyway, let's see what Nikki Haley does now. This'll really be interesting because if she loses, like literally, if she does not win another state, and again, I'm recording this episode around 6 p.m., and I think voting goes until around 8 p.m. So, I don't have all the results, but the ones that have come in so far, Trump's won pretty much every state. So if she loses everything and then continues to stay in the race, that's just weird. Okay, that's just weird. That's never happened before in politics. Actually, it's never happened before in politics for her to stay this long, let alone if she continues. So if she does continue, you have to then kind of, like I said, I mean, maybe they're just playing the long game. They're playing the long game. They're thinking Trump's he's not going to make it to the finish line. So, if she stays in the race, if she does not drop out over the next day or two, I mean, who knows? By the time we're listening to this, which is now, we're not in the future. By the time we're listening to this, or as we're listening to this, maybe she has dropped out. If she does, that would make a lot more sense to me than if she stays. All right, you know what? I do have a little bit of an update. So with Super Tuesday, 15 states are the ones that are offering up their delegates. And so basically it's like the biggest one-day total. 854 delegates are up for grabs. And again, it looks like Trump and Biden, as of 6 p.m. yesterday, were absolutely winning everything. And it doesn't look like Nikki Haley had won any of the primary states. Also with Super Tuesday, there's a lot of Senate, House, and governor voting, as well as I think a lot of state voting. Actually, because I did my Super Tuesday for California. All right, you know what? Man, I am so sick of talking politics. I really am. I'm so tired of it. And I don't want to say I'm tired of talking the Gaza stuff, because that's disrespectful to the people, 30,000 of them who have lost their lives. So I'm not going to say that at all. But the political nature of all this stuff, man, I'm really tired of talking about it. I'm going to continue, but I'm definitely a little bit tired of talking about it. Okay, I'm going to make this commitment. I'm going to do the deep shallow dive health episode where we're going to analyze what your number 1 and number 2 means. I think that's important. I'm a freak about that. I mean, I literally am a freak about that. Like, when I go to the bathroom, I don't just go to the bathroom. Like, I analyze what came out. I really do. I know that's gross, but that's the truth. And I'm going to help you understand how I analyze it. Basically based on sight and smell, two of the senses, the sense of sight and your olfactory senses. All right, we're going to do that episode this week. You know, maybe I gotta make some time and I'll dig back. I'll do a deep shallow dive exclusive on like South Africa, apartheid, something to get us out of this little rat race of current politics. Anyway, all right, that's it. I'm going to wrap this one up. Man, I hope the Deep Shallow Dive Instagram gets let out of timeout. That's kind of a shame. We're really growing something cool there. But whatever. You ain't going to stop me. You ain't going to stop me, Meta. Actually, you totally will stop me, you bastard. All right, everybody. Call a spade a spade. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. Keep your head up. Reach for the stars. Reach for the sky. Reach for... I was literally going to say Bud Light, but I can't say Bud Light. I don't drink Bud Light. All right. Call a spade a spade.
The ending was terrific.
This episode is being brought to you by the upcoming book, Deep Shallow Dive Into You. That's right. Bro wrote a book, and it's coming soon. Stay tuned.